Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Thomas, and this is my second NFL Draft mock draft video, and I posted the first 5 picks up there already. I had the first 5 picks up right now. You can check that out. If you're watching this video, I'm doing picks 6 to 11, so you might want to watch picks 1 to 5 first, and then watch 6 to 11, so that way it's in chronological order. That's what I'm kind of gunning for. As far as picking, doing it that way, doing 5 picks for every video. That was what my goal, just to conserve time and all that stuff. Because you don't want to watch me babble on and on for 30 minutes, don't you? So that's what I'm doing. The draft order for that first video was the Texans, Rams, Jaguars, Browns, and Raiders from picks 1 to 5. And this video will consist of the picks for the Falcons, Bucks, Vikings, Bills, Lions, and Titans from picks 6 to 11. I'm going to start off with the 6th pick, which the Atlanta Falcons hold. And the Falcons were one of the most disappointing teams this season besides the Houston Texans. I thought that they ranked 1A and 1B. You could take your pick. But given the fact that the Texans are holding the first overall pick and the Falcons are holding the 6th, I think that the Texans were more disappointing. But you can choose between which one you feel is the most disappointing. Atlanta had a lot of problems as far as protecting Matt Ryan. I think that's the one thing that I take away from watching them this season. They were on primetime quite a bit too, so I was able to really get a good look at what they really needed. Not that he was necessarily sacked a lot, but he was always pressured, and he would always have to check down and throw these dink and dunk passes to Roddy White or Julio Jones before he got hurt. Steven Jackson became a receiving running back, which he's known for, but he was relied on a little bit too much because their offensive line was just so pedestrian and mediocre. And that's the biggest position of need, I think, for them. If you were to look on any site right now, you would see that their offensive line is not where it should be right now. For a perennial, contender, you need your offensive line no matter what team you're on. You need it to be very stout, and Atlanta's is not. Sam Baker, they gave a huge contract to, and he was just not good at all. He was very disappointing, in my opinion, for the Falcons. I think that he's more suited to be a right tackle than a left tackle, and I think that being said, the second best tackle on the board is Greg Robinson from Auburn, and I think that that's the direction. Pardon me. I think that's the direction that the Falcons are going to go in. I think that Robinson has all the athletic tools in the world to grow as a player as he gets older physically. He'll get bigger and stronger. He's a very young kid, 21 years old. So I think that that's the direction the Falcons should go in as far as what they're going to do next with their team. And I think that would really help them. I think having a staple left tackle like Robinson would really propel them and make them better next season. And then they could move Sam Baker over to right tackle, a position that I think fits him better than left. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had a quietly good offseason, I feel, so far. Hiring Lovie Smith, I think Smith deserves to be a head coach. I thought that he was fired too early from the Bears, even though they were 7-1 at one point in their season, and they didn't make the playoffs. I thought that was disappointing, but I didn't really feel as if he should have been fired like he was. And I'm glad to see that he's back in the NFL and he's got a job on a team that does have a lot of talent around it. Doug Martin at running back. You got Vincent Jackson at wide receiver. You have the defensively. You got Deshaun Goldson from the year before as a free agent, and you signed and you traded for Darrelle Revis. So that was very big for them to do that and bring in a defensive coach. I think that he'll bring the best out of those defensive players on that team. That being said, I feel as if they will go in a defensive direction. I feel like the best linebacker besides Jadeveon Clowney in this draft class is C.J. Mosley from Alabama. Alabama's been a powerhouse, as everybody knows, in the college football world for the last 5 years since Nick Saban has taken over there. Mosley was a big contributor to the BCS appearances, and he's a great linebacker, a sideline-to-sideline guy. Very good pass rushing skills, very good coverage skills for a linebacker as well. He's got all-around tools. I think that if Jadeveon Clowney wouldn't be in this draft class, he would be the best linebacker in the draft, and I really feel that way. So that's the direction I see them going in. Solidify that defense would also help Mike Glennon, who I think that they're going to carry on with as their quarterback of the future. And I think Mosley is the pick there. Number 8, I think Mosley is the pick there for the Buccaneers. Number 8, the Minnesota Vikings. This pick might make a little bit of waves, but I have a feeling that actually I don't have a feeling. I know that the Vikings need a quarterback. They paid Josh Freeman $3 million to figure out if he was an option for them. That's how desperate they are to find a quarterback. He is so bad, and they paid that much money to test the waters of Josh Freeman, and he is nowhere near as good as he feels he is, or they feel he is. Obviously, he didn't pan out. So they need a quarterback. Adrian Peterson, I think, besides Peyton Manning, needs a Super Bowl ring more than anybody. He's spent a lot of time in Minnesota, and one could say that it might be time that's been wasted because they haven't really built a good team around him. They haven't, besides Brett Favre. Brett Favre is the only good quarterback that Peterson has had the privilege of playing with, and I have a feeling that they will get a quarterback, and I think that the quarterback is going to be Teddy Bridgewater from Louisville. I think that he is the 3rd best ranked quarterback in this draft class, and I feel as if that will be the right decision for them. Bridgewater alongside Adrian Peterson, I feel, is a great quarterback-running back combination. He's got a beautiful deep ball, which would really suit well for their offense. They got Greg Jennings and Cordell Patterson, who they drafted last year, who's a great wide receiver. He showed signs of being an electrifying playmaker with great elusiveness in the return game as well. So I see Teddy Bridgewater going number 8 there in Minnesota, and I think that that'll be a good decision for them for many years to come. And that's why I have that there. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. This is my team. I'm born and raised in Buffalo. We've had some trying years the last, 10, 15 years, no playoff appearances. We've come closer than people realize, but 2004 we went against the Steelers, against their 3rd stringers. We needed to win that game to get in the playoffs, and we lost at home. We were 5-1 in 2011, finishing 7-9. We were 4-0. We were 5-1 in 2008 as well, and we finished 7-9. So we've come close. We've come a lot closer than people realize, and I feel as if they are getting better. I feel like Doug Marrone has brought a bit of a winning sensibility to the team. And last year, even though they did finish 6-10 for the 3rd straight year, I feel as if for the 2nd straight year, I feel as if they are moving forward. A lot of those games were close. And it all depends on E.J. Manuel's durability and what happens there. But their defense under Mike Pettin, who was hired as the Cleveland Browns head coach this past offseason, I feel has made immense progress throughout this one season. And being 2nd in sacks, being almost 1st in interceptions, close to 1st, I feel as if you are onto something there with the defense that they have. Their defensive line, Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, Marcel Darius, Alan Branch from Seattle last year. I feel as if he's going to be a great contribution. He has been a great contribution to their team. Their secondary's young. They got Stephon Gilmore and Leotis McKelvin. Kiko Alonso was a huge contributor, and I think that they need to build more on their defense. If they can go by the Seahawks blueprint to win games, I feel as if they should that if they were looking to do that, and which I think a lot of teams will be, you want to stack your defense up as much as you can. If your defense is that good, your offense will be that much better because your defense will give your offense more opportunities to score and get points, whether it's field goals or touchdowns. And having a great defense helps the possession battle of where you're going to start your offense and your offensive drives. So that being said, everybody will probably roll their eyes when I say this pick, But I really don't see this pick going any other way than this way. No matter how I write the draft, no matter who I predict going where, this pick just makes sense. It's easy. It's not a hard decision. It's the only guy that's really left that really fits their team, in my opinion. And that's linebacker Khalil Mack, who everybody knows goes to Buffalo, the University of Buffalo, which is a Division I school. So it's not like there's a knock on him being a MAC player. The MAC is an up and coming conference, I believe, in college football. And this guy has had a tremendous year. His tackles for loss led the nation this year. His tackles behind the line led the nation. Great run stuffer. Great coverage linebacker. He had 2 touchdown fumble returns for touchdowns. He had quite a few forced fumbles. You could even make the argument that Tampa Bay could pick him at 7 rather than C.J. Mosley, as I stated earlier. But I think that the Bucs will pick C.J. Mosley there, and I think Buffalo will pick Khalil Mack. He will have no transition period going from UB, University of Buffalo, to the Buffalo Bills, and him alongside Kiko Alonso would be a huge step up for Buffalo. They'd have Alonso, Khalil Mack, and Manny Lawson, who was tremendous last year, and Jerry Hughes as well. They would have 4 really good linebackers, and that might not be the biggest position of need for them. You could say that they need a wide receiver. Stevie Johnson had a down year. You could say that they need an offensive tackle to help E.J. Manuel with his durability issues, and to prevent him from getting hurt. But you could even say they need a safety. You could even say that they'll take Clinton Dix from Alabama at number 9 if Jairus Byrd leaves. But in my opinion, I don't think they need a safety whether Byrd leaves or not. Aaron Williams filled in for him pretty remarkably during the season this year. And if Byrd does leave, then they could go with Williams to carry on that position. But linebacker Khalil Mack, his skills speak for themselves. It's not like he was playing real bad teams either. They played Ohio State this year, and he was a star in that game. So that shows that if you were to play teams like that, more than just once every few years, he would really still be a solid player. So I have Khalil Mack going to Buffalo there. Number 10, the Detroit Lions have a new head coach, Jim Caldwell, replacing Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz now the defensive coordinator in Buffalo, replacing Mike Pettin. I think that Caldwell's a good coach. I think that he is more of an offensive coach, but the Detroit Lions defense had a lot of problems. If you're in a division where Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Jay Cutler gets hurt, and as I stated earlier, Minnesota has no quarterback. That's why I have them taking Teddy Bridgewater 8th overall, and they still lose to those teams. That means that your defense is terrible. More importantly, your secondary. You need a cornerstone corner on your team that can really make a difference. And I think the best corner in the draft is Darqueze Dennard. And I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember where he's from, but just look up his highlights. He's a guy that covers a lot of ground. He's a great press coverage wide receiver, great man coverage guy, which is very important in this day and age in the NFL. No player is as interesting secondary-wise, in my opinion, as him. I think that it would be great for them to have a solid number 1 or number 2 or whatever they'll line him up as corner. They might address that position in free agency as well. But I think that Darqueze Dennard will be the pick there. Number 11, the Tennessee Titans. They also have a new head coach, Ken Whisenhunt, who was the former head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. This guy is known for his offensive knowledge. He was really able to revive Phillip Rivers' career in his 1 year as offensive coordinator with the San Diego Chargers. This guy is a good coach, very underrated coach. He was able to win games with quarterbacks like John Skelton and Max Hall and guys that had no business starting in an NFL game. No offense to them, but they were not good quarterbacks whatsoever. And I feel as if Tennessee does have an answer at quarterback. I think Jake Locker is a good quarterback given the right situation. And I think Ken Whisenhunt will revive his career. But that being said, we've already stated that Clowney will be picked. We've already stated that C.J. Mosley will be picked. We've already stated that Khalil Mack will be picked. That's 3 linebackers right there. And there is another linebacker in this draft class that I think deserves more credit than what he's given, and it might be it's scary that this guy is the fourth linebacker taken, given how much his skill set is. That shows the skill set of everybody else. Anthony Barr from UCLA, he's really helped Jim Mora revive that UCLA program, and this is his first. That was his 1 year as his first year as a linebacker, playing defense, and he was a stout, just as stout as anybody in certain categories. Khalil Mack, as I mentioned, did lead the league in tackles for loss, but did lead the nation in tackles for loss, I should say. But Anthony Barr was a sack machine. He's a pass rusher machine. And that's what the Titans need. They need a cornerstone linebacker, a guy that they haven't had in a long time. At linebacker since Keith Bullock, and he really reminds me of Keith Bullock when watching him. He's a tenacious player. He's got a big wingspan. He's like 6'5", 6'6", 250, 245 at least. This guy's a monster. He's a physical freak. Javon Curse, kind of. He's like a Javon Curse, Keith Bullock combination, which is what Tennessee Titans fans would love to hear. Their ears would be they'd be salivating at the thought of that again. And that's as close. I think that this guy is a very good player, and I can see Tennessee taking him there. That's the last pick of video number 2, my 2014 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. This might change eventually, but I don't see it. I think that based on these first 11 picks, I really believe that will be the direction that these teams go in, and I can't see it any other way. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you have any comments or concerns or maybe questions about other prospects that you don't really know about that you've heard that your team might go after, I can answer them for you. I've watched tape on these guys. I've learned a lot about them. I follow college football every year, so I know quite a bit about college prospects and how they'll transition to the NFL. Last year, remarkably, I was almost a little bit more than half right on where the teams were going to go, where teams were going to go with their picks last year. And there were a few surprises, but you know that happens every year. That's the beauty of doing this. It's pretty fun. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Thanks.